Alright, what's up guys? We've got a new trailer for Under Night in Birth 2. Very excited because Tokyo Game Show has just started. Unfortunately, I had to work today. Still got a full-time job, but I am going to Tokyo Game Show tomorrow. So hopefully I'll get to see this game in action. But for now, let's check out the official trailer before I actually head to the event tomorrow. Alright, I haven't seen this trailer yet, but I understand that it will talk about the new characters and the release date, which I think has already been announced for January 24th. Let's see. All right, Hyde and Seth. We've already seen these animations from previous games, but I don't think we've seen that. That was Kuon. Can't remember exactly what the story was. He's one of the very, very old elders who, I think he's brother and sister with Linnae. Linnae's the one who gets rebirth all the time, every time she dies. Story of Kuon, not as clear to me because I didn't remember a lot from the Chronicles mode. But English voice acting for this new trailer, all of the newly drawn art for all the characters. New techniques and mechanics, we already knew that. Responsive input, not sure what that means. Stunning combat and stylish moves, that's a scary word in the fighting game scene because we know that stylish often means simplified. Brand new story elements. This is the epic conclusion. For some reason they've decided that video game number 2 is going to be where the series just ends the story. Usually that's when they just get started going. Rollback netcode included, a series first, it is indeed. Casual match has been added. What? Did we not have casual match before? I didn't even notice that. Hopefully there's enough people actually playing online for there to be a casual match. Practice combos and refine your skills with the new tutorial mode. It looks very similar. In fact, it looks like it's using some of the same illustrations as the previous game.
View character art.
Loaded with various character artwork, and again, a lot of these artworks you will recognize, but they do look like some of these artworks are new, and then of course there are the new illustrations for the new game, and new characters. New in-births gather underneath the veil of darkness. So what is this guy's name? I always call him Shield Guy. Tsurugi. I think we've already known his name because he was in the original game. Kaguya, who we've already had a trailer for before, so we know that she has 2 guns. She has bouncing bullets and also just like long-range shots, I guess. Presumably this is Kuon, Endless Entity, Eternal Rebirth, which is what Linnae keeps going through, but for some reason, Kuon, I don't know, maybe he was like sealed away to the Hollow Knight because he was too dangerous or whatever. And this is that. I think that's probably going to be basically it for the trailer. And I just love this new illustration. So sick. Oh, January 25th. Presumably that's because it's 24th in the West, 25th in Japan. About 17 hours ahead. What all this? First, second, third character. Okay, hold on. Whoa. Okay, they showed this in the. What? I have a feeling that's going to be the only screenshot we get of the new character. Alright, the first thing I want to have a look at is this new character. They've got a very, very short-looking animation at the new character, who is, of course, one of the eldest characters in the whole series, because I believe he was right there at the beginning when the powers of the EXS were first explained to the people in the village. I don't know. I like the story of Under Night, but don't get me wrong, it is intensely boring at times. It is intensely boring sometimes, to be fair. But let's hope that the creation of the actual character will make this character a little bit more interesting to learn about. So we already saw this preview shot where they show his eye and they show him in darkness because it was just a preview in the original trailer that we watched. And that was like, what, a week ago? It was like 5 or 6 days ago on the run-up to Tokyo Game Show. But now we actually see... it's funny because Kuon is also... Wait, I think Linnae also has a hoodie, right? So it's like brother and sister. Sorry, I keep calling them brother and sister. If that's actually not the lore, I'm sorry. But as I understand it from the lore videos that I watched, I think it was explained that they were brother and sister. Anyway, turns out he's a hoodie character as well. So he's got a hoodie. His body and the way he's standing kind of reminds me of Carmine. I don't think they're related, but you know, it's just thought I'd mention it. Also, it's a very, very short animation. It looks so much like a Melty Blood type Lumina animation. It's entirely possible. I mean, don't forget, that Under Night started about 10 years ago. In fact, I think the 11th anniversary of Under Night was, I don't know, yesterday or today. And it's entirely possible that the illustrators and animators, some of them maybe have even left the company, moved on. And maybe this was illustrated and drawn by someone who is mainly part of the Multi-Blood type Lumina team. Again, if you don't know what I'm talking about, that's the next game that they made after Under Night In Birth. Actually, that might not be true. I think they may have worked on some other stuff as well. But anyway, the important thing is that they worked on both. So, I also, before we watch the whole trailer again, I just want to have a little... I'm so interested in this Kuon character. Cling to hope. Now, does he mean that in a positive way, or he's just like, you're gonna die, cling to whatever hope you have left? Interesting. This character is not as... I don't know, he's a skinny... I mean, I was expecting him to be skinny, because, like, apart from Waldstein, pretty much everyone is a skinny character in this game. Yeah, I suppose maybe Enkidu is not that skinny. Oh, he's fighting his own sister. There's got to be some lore. There's got to be some lore there. Fighting against her. Who knows, maybe she's already... Maybe this is an important part of her rebirth. Maybe she has to die so she can be reborn in someone else's body. You never know. It's weird because when fighting games have stories, it means that it's entirely possible that in the next game, as a part of the story, certain characters won't come back. So who knows? If Linné has to go through like the rebirth process, then who knows? Maybe she won't be in Under Night 3. Though, don't forget, Under Night 3 probably wouldn't happen until 2034. That's the year that I would expect that game to come out at the current pace. Also, another fun little exciting fact that I learnt recently when I looked up Linné in the Japanese dictionary, it actually means rebirth. Which is kind of, I don't know, I want to say it's cool, but in a way it's kind of lame. So anyway, let's move on. Okay, we see all the new characters before we... No, okay, you know what? Let's play the whole trailer again. I don't think it's necessary to do it in slow motion because there's not that much gameplay. In fact, there is gameplay shown later on in Tokyo Game Show. They had like an 11-hour stream. And there's loads of footage, I guess maybe from casuals walking up to the booth and just playing the game. They're celebrating 10 years of the game, but it's funny, after 10 years they're only now moving on to the second game. Though actually, fighting games they did used to be on like a... Well, actually some fighting games came out a new sequel every year. Oh yeah, so that was Creeping Edge that we have seen already at EVO. All this celestial stuff, I still don't remember exactly how it all works. It'll make sense when the game comes out, I'm sure. Brand new stories for the arcade mode. I assume there will also be a revamped Chronicles mode so that we can actually understand what the heck is going on in this story. Sorry, I couldn't help but notice that Mika's got the food in her mouth face. Who knows what she was trying to say in this bit of the trailer. See if we can pick up any more clues here. Rollback netcode. Did not realize that there hadn't actually been a casual mode in this game before. I always thought there had been. Just never looked for it. They're still using RIP to measure how many points you have online. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like there's any kind of 3D battle hub. Tekken 8 and Street Fighter 6 going all in on the 3D chibi characters, a bit like Grand Blue Fantasy Versus, actually. So these are the new tutorials, and it looks like they're going to be using the same system as before, but it looks nice and well labeled so that you know that there's an explanation-only lesson, or there's a system control or a game system thing that you can actually test out and try. A perfect training ground for beginners. I believe there's footage of Kamone doing a dash block tutorial. I'm looking forward to checking that out as well. Wouldn't have known that without people posting Twitter clips, of course. And previously online exclusive illustrations loaded with various artwork. SD characters. So this is where we need to maybe hit pause a couple times and check what's going on. But Tsurugi had not actually seen any footage of this guy actually in action. These might be in-game sprites that have been zoomed in, and that's obviously not an in-game sprite. He's got a Dragon Punch, important for a beginner-friendly character, of course. Actually, it's important for any character to have some form of invincible DP. But of course, there are some reasons why not everyone can. And was that it? Was that all the footage we get? Hold on. Presumably there's no footage later on, but let's see. So That's a forward dash with a shield. Don't forget that Mash, a character that was put into Melty Blood, who is from, I was going to say Fate Stay, the Fate Stay, what is the series? Can't remember exactly, but Mash from the mobile game. Is this some kind of Rekka? So he's got the Dragon Punch there, but then he continues to do more moves after that. So it looks like I'm guessing it's some kind of Rekka, where you do one move and then it like follows into the next move by you like confirm halfway through which route you want to go through. Wow, really beating Phonon. No, if I'm not mistaken, Phonon and is it Phonon and Tsurugi they're working together on the student council? They're like part of some sort of club at school which helps people acclimatize to their Undernight powers, their EXS powers. Seems kind of strange to have something official like that at school, but I guess this is like a well understood thing. It's not like what was I going to say? It's not like Tsukihime where the whole thing is kind of hush hush. Nobody really knows about it. There's no real need to zoom in on Kaguya's stuff because she actually has gameplay footage in the 11-hour stream that they did after this. This might be the only footage we're going to have of Kuon until presumably a month or two from now when the game gets closer to release. So that's probably part of his infinite worth. Okay, he has one of those whips which is put together from like lots and lots of little shards. Presumably that can spin around, Soul Calibur style. What is the name of the woman I'm talking about? Ivy. It's gonna be something like Ivy. I did notice some people were mentioning on Twitter that there's a red circle here that people are like, hang on a minute, that looks like the Akiha red swirl from Melty Blood type Lumina. Who knows? Maybe it is. That would be an efficient use of reusing the animations. The enthralling tale of the Hollow Knight. I like when they zoom in on the different elements of this poster, because this poster could have just been a flat image, but they have all the elements separate and moving around. Cool. Okay, and presumably, yeah, that's Kuon in the background. I mean, personally, I think what I'm most curious about is going to be the relationship between Kuon and Linne. I want to kind of know more about that. I don't understand exactly who has to die. I'm not saying that someone has to die, but it does feel like someone needs to be taken down, and I'm assuming that Kuon becomes like some evil final boss that you're supposed to take down. But if I'm not mistaken, and if you're new to Undernight, this may not mean anything to you whatsoever, but Linne is cursed to live forever, in that every time she dies, she will take the body of some other girl who was already alive. So I guess technically the soul of that girl dies, or if they're like Yerks, maybe it's like Animorphs, maybe they both cohabitate the same body. But anyway, I'm wondering if Linne has to die, because if I'm not mistaken, Seth has some kind of pact that he's made with her. Like, I think he's got one of the only weapons on Earth that is capable of like truly killing her, and she doesn't want to keep going through this whole palaver of being reborn, even though her name means rebirth in Japanese. I understand that this character here that you can see on screen in the bottom left-hand corner, obviously you can't because my face is in the way, but Seth, who is right here, I believe that he has one of the only weapons that can kill Linne, and I think maybe this weapon that Hyde is holding here, I think this might also be one of the few weapons that can kill Linne. So, who needs to die? Does Linne need to die? Does Kuon need to die? Maybe both of them need to die. I would prefer if neither of them died, so that we can have both characters in future versions of the game. Alright. That is all I have to say about the newest trailer. This is coming only 5 or 6 days after the teaser trailer that they showed us. Kaguya was announced 1 week before TGS, getting us ready for it. So I'm hoping that we get like a full Tsurugi trailer sometime this weekend, but I don't think we will. The only other thing that I could show you, which I just don't unfortunately have time because it's already like almost midnight here in Japan, and I'm going to TGS tomorrow for day two of business day. So I don't have any time. I barely have time to edit today's video anyway. But I would love to also go, I just don't think I'm going to have time. I wish I had time to go through the 11-hour stream just watching the VTuber. They've got VTuber, official what would you call them, ambassadors for Under Night 2. So there's a lot of exciting stuff, and I would love to go through it and translate all of it for you, but fortunately just don't have time on this particular occasion. But I hope you enjoyed this little reaction to the trailer, and let me know, was there anything that I got wrong? Is there anything that you've figured out yourself from watching the trailer? It's just like, I think that's a little bit different. The story might be not going the way you think it is. Let me know in the comments section below. Until the next video, which I presumably will hopefully be able to get some more information up about Under Night 2 when I go to Tokyo Game Show tomorrow. Stay tuned for all of that. Subscribe if you haven't done so already. Like the video, comment below. I'll see you all next time.